What's up? I'm Dustin Corbett, your host of the new podcast, Two Steps Ahead. Episode 4, coming at you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us, spending some time. I know your time is valuable and you're extremely busy, and I'm hoping that whatever business you're in, you're starting to pick up a tad. It's happening for us here. From everybody that I've been speaking to lately, it seems to be following suit. So that's a good thing. I hope you're busy, and even more so, a reason that I'm appreciative of you taking some time to listen to me go on about a whole bunch of nothing. So I appreciate you. Last week, episode 3, we got into the why and the motivation that moves us as individuals and our teammates and our team members, and understanding what each individual's why is, because they're all different. And once we get a grasp of that and we know what it is on an individual basis, it better allows us to motivate and move forward along with our employees on a daily basis. I appreciate all the feedback that we did get from last week. We got some good conversation out of it. We got some good talk and discussion, which is the whole point that we're doing this. So we're hoping to do this again this week, and I appreciate everybody that's been with us. If you have not yet, you can like, follow, subscribe, comment, any one of the social media platforms out there. You can find us. Thank you, Emily Osborne, for that. This week, COVID-19, how it's changed our business, and what we're going to do, and how our business will be changed for the quote unquote new normal that will be when this all breaks. I'm going to go over a few of my thoughts. I don't think that everyone will agree with me from what I'm hearing out there in the world, and that's okay. I'm cool with that. Starting a conversation, a discussion is absolutely fine with me, and I love it. I may have a little bit different take than some, and that's okay, but I'm going to get into that now. So basically what happened to us, I'll preface this a little bit, about 6 weeks ago now, the government deemed us non-essential in the front end of the building. So automotive retail was non-essential in the state of New York. Repair facilities were. So our service and parts department has been open for business throughout. We had to do some extreme layoffs in the sales department, which was extremely unfortunate, and those are actually still not back to work. We then, since then, have been able to remote and online sell vehicles only with scheduled deliveries only. So our showrooms are locked. We cannot test drive cars. We cannot even converse with anyone. No one can come into the showroom. All we can do, and all we have been able to do for about 5 out of these 6 weeks, is structure deals, give payments, trade evaluations, get financing done, get deals made remotely, schedule deliveries. Customers have been in and out within 10 minutes to sign a few wet signature requirements only when they pick up their cars. Our business has been off probably about 60% volume in the sales department. Service and parts, we're running, I would say, close to that of half, 50%. Our daily appointments are actually on the increase almost every day, and we're confident that we're moving in the right direction back there. But we're walking in with and closing out roughly 50% of the repair orders that we had done prior to this all happening. Okay, so what's going on? Being that we're not the only ones, obviously everybody, being that we are in a state to where we were deemed and we had to resort to remote and online sales only, who do we have? We have myself, general sales manager, and our BDC agent in the building working, and that's it. Obviously, a lot of phone calls, text messages, and emails, more so than normal, have happened and taken place with customers on the retail side of the building. Now, because of this, all the talk is that remote and online buying tools that are now being put on websites and being used for the automotive retail sector are going to be the new norm. No one's going to want to come into a dealership. No one's going to want to even talk to anybody for that matter. They're just going to want to buy and purchase or lease or whatever it is, a vehicle completely from their couch online with a tool that's on a website. Come in, grab the keys, and get out. That's the talk. That's the majority of what people are saying is going to be our new normal in automotive retail sale. Well, I'm here to tell you that I have not bought into that. I just haven't. I've not been tipped over the ledge that that is going to be what people want at mass scale and percentage moving forward, or quite honestly, any time within my life. I just don't feel that way. Now, does that mean we should not have the ability for those that do want to purchase a car that way to be able to do so? No. I think we do need that. I think we're going to have to offer that as a way for someone to purchase a vehicle. I don't think that if we um, continue to do business, or I think if we don't offer that, that we will lose market share, no doubt. But the numbers are not speaking to me yet. We don't have an online retail tool. We're closing at a massively high percentage throughout COVID so far. Lead to deal, lead to sale. And obviously, everything is a lead at this point. There is no fresh showroom traffic. There are people driving in our lot and walking around and looking at cars, and unfortunately, we can't even go talk to them legally. So every possible interaction with a customer is via a lead, whether it be phone or internet at the moment, and has been for weeks. We're closing at a massively high rate. Some can say that the reason for that is that those that are reaching out and looking for information are extremely low in the funnel, and they would have bought cars anyways had COVID not happened. I'm not disagreeing with that fact. That very well could be the case. So I'm not saying that all of a sudden we've mastered the art of this. That's not what I'm saying by any stretch. I agree that a lot of these customers reaching out are probably in the lower end of the funnel anyways, and more purchasing on potential necessity than just want and desire. Not all, but more than usual. But what I don't think is going to happen is that people are just going to all of a sudden want to do everything that there is to do with an automotive vehicle purchase at home without speaking to anyone ever. We have to have it as an option, I believe, moving forward. But I don't think that the masses have spoken yet to lead me down the path of trying to lead our customers down the path of buying a car completely online. So I'm not taking that just yet. And I'm not putting that up on our sites just yet. No, no. I think that more so than ever, what is important is how we communicate with our customers, how quickly and proficiently we answer their questions with legitimate answers to the questions. We don't just respond to an email that says, quote unquote, I'm looking for, a used Toyota RAV4 and I want to be under $20,000. What are your options? And then our response is, well, we have 15 used RAV4s in our inventory. When can you come in and take a look at them so we can narrow it down? That's typical. That's where we have been in our industry. That's what we have been trying to push people to do. Oh, just come on in. I'll give you the most money for your trade if you show up. Why would you want to know a price on a car yet if you don't even know you like the car yet? Come on in and look at the car first, and then we'll give you a price. That I am 1,000,000% bought in with, even more so now because of what's gone on during this COVID time. But I don't think we're going to stray away from having people that are going to want to call us or email us, or better yet, even text us, as the numbers show. I think we're going to have more of that, yes. But I don't think that people are just going to want to sit behind the computer and let some algorithm, let some computer-based build your own deal tool tell them what their trade is worth, tell them what the payments are. Listen, there's so many different variables in an automotive deal structure that there is no way humanly possible that these tools can iron out everything 100% of the time. It's impossible. It's literally impossible. Can it hit the nail on the head a few times? Yes, it can. And it will. It'll work, but not 100% of the time. And who's to say that if someone dives onto your online buying tool on your website and decides that after step 2 that their trade evaluation, they were asking too many questions. The tool was asking too many questions. I don't want to answer 50 questions about my car. I just want you to give me a range. I just want a trade appraisal range. I want an idea. And they back out of that tool and they leave and you never see them again. Funneling your customers, guiding them, pushing them, moving them to an online buying tool solely online is not what we're going to do, because I feel that people still want human interaction. Do they want it to be easier? Yes. Do they want their questions answered immediately? Yes. Do they want their questions with relevant answers? Yes. They can't buy a car online. You can't buy a car on Amazon just yet. Carvana is doing this. I understand that. I do. I understand that. What happens after the fact? Is there no relationship anymore? Where are these people going for service? I don't know. But anybody in the automotive world that works in the dealership realizes that sales is not the only thing that we have to worry about. We have other departments in the building. And if we don't build relationships, if we don't make meaningful relationships with our customers, then why on earth would we ever see them again? I don't want to buy, think about this. Are you going to buy a house online? I wouldn't. Pictures, videos, it doesn't matter. I'm not buying a house online. When we bought our house, we wanted to get the feeling, the vibes behind the neighborhood, behind what did I feel when what did I feel when I was in the backyard? And I looked up and I looked at the trees and wanted to see some birds and I wanted to smell the fresh cut grass. I don't know what that feeling is. I don't know what on earth I would feel when I pulled into the driveway for the first time if I bought it online, showed up with the keys, and just spent hundreds of thousands of dollars not having a clue. It's not a pair of shoes. This is not an outside thermometer that my wife just bought our boys on Amazon a few days ago. We're probably one of the biggest Amazon users on the planet. We might keep them in business in our household alone. So that's not my point. But the point is, an outdoor thermometer is not a vehicle. It's not a house. I wouldn't do that with something that large. So what are we going to do instead? We're going to distill the training in those that are answering this leads to make them lethal. And we're also going to empower them, whether it's a BDC representative, BDC manager, salesman, whoever it is going to be answering our leads moving forward. And maybe we have to restructure this. That's what's going in our mind. I don't know. But whoever it is going to be empowered to have full authority to build a deal, to give a price, to give a payment, to take a look at a trade, put it into our appraisal tool, and put a number on that thing. Obviously, sight unseen. If it's not what you're depicting to me, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, things can change. But the way I see it, based on your description of the trade, is this. We're going to eliminate the waiting period to where currently a BDC representative has to wait minutes upon minutes upon minutes and possibly even hours in order to get a payment, a price, a trade appraisal from the sales manager before they get back to the customer. No. The customers want answers. They want them now. They want answers also, and the biggest part about this is they want answers from human beings. They want them from real people. My dude, Gene Girdley, a couple of days, sent me an article he posted on LinkedIn. And it's from a company, ZipWhip, who did a study, I believe it was on 2,000 people. And one of the questions they asked them were, who would you rather speak to? A live human being or an AI Autobot type deal? 74% of the people said, I want to talk to a person. Well, no kidding. If you're making a purchase this large, you're going to want to talk to somebody. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to want to see them live before you even make half of a decision of what make or model you want to buy. You might want to text them. You might want to email. You might want to have a chat source speaking to a live human, not an Autobot. You might want to pick up the phone and call. However they want to speak to us, we're going to have to be open and available for that. But the majority of people want to speak to a live person, not some algorithm based tech gadget. Because there's no answer for every single question with these tools. Like I said, they cannot go through an entire deal 100% of the time and have it be perfect. It's impossible. So to me, an online retail tool is an Autobot. I have 702 credit score. Okay, you're qualified for as low as 1.9% financing. Okay, great. Sign up, give a deposit via my online buying tool, show up at the dealership, they look at the credit, and the credit is a 702, spot on. Exactly what I told them, okay? I'm a 21-year-old kid that just got out of college, have one $500 credit card that I've ever had in my name. I paid it well, I paid it perfectly. I maintain a very low balance. Oh, you're no longer approved for $35,000 on your own because you make $20,000 a year and you've had absolutely no established credit. Is the Autobot going to know that? Is the online buying tool going to know that? Don't think so. I absolutely do not think so. Still to this day, most trade appraisals cannot even decipher a packaged option within a trim level on vehicles. Trucks, for instance, we have a Toyota store here, Toyota Tacoma, Toyota Tundra. SR5 is a submodel. Within that model, there are a plethora of different options: TRD Off-Road, TRD Sport, SR5 Premium Package. There's a million of them. The trade appraisal tool, via the VIN number, pulls up that submodel, that sub-trim level of an SR5. It has absolutely no idea if it's a TRD Pro, TRD Off-Road, or an SR5 Premium. Thousands and thousands of dollars of difference here. And if you look at Manheim, if you look at auction reports, that doesn't know the difference either because it cannot decode that by the VIN. Online buying tool? Didn't think so. Did not think so. Do we need some human interaction to decipher what that trim level is and all the available options that are on that car that's being traded in to give a customer the most money they deserve? Yes. How's that going to work? To me, the Autobot is an online buying tool. Now, that doesn't mean that no one is going to want to use the Autobot because there's still 23% of people say they still want to use a combination of real people and Autobots. And then 3% of people said they want to use the Autobot only. So there's still 26% collectively that want to use some fashion of an Autobot. 23 of that 26% want to use Autobot plus human. So we have to have it as an availability. We cannot start guiding our customers to use this online buying tool only, or we're going to fall on our face. We're going to fall on our face. We're going to have no grip, no handle on what people are doing when they're jumping off this tool, how to get in touch with them afterward. I just have not bought in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. But what we are going to do is empower all of our people that are answering these questions to make decisions, to step up to the plate, those that are hammers at their craft and are phenomenal and understand when and how to to ask for the business are those that are going to be responsible. But guess what? They're all human beings. They're not computers. They have feelings. And when you're spending $45,000 for a vehicle, there are some emotions involved. I don't care who you are. There are feelings. There are values that you're trying to attain. And on our end, we're trying to sell the value. There is no value selling with an Autobot. None. There is no value selling with an online retail tool only. None. And I think that people still want to see the value. So I'm done with that rant. We'll see how everyone feels. We also want to explain our process, what our processes are going to be moving forward very early in the communication phase. We are sanitizing our house. We are keeping it as clean as humanly possible for you and the rest of our employees. We are going to do as much of this as we can before you show up to the dealership. Online buying tool? No. Can we still do almost everything before they show up? Yes. Are customers having a problem with this currently? No. We're going to explain our process and exactly how it's going to work very early in the communication process. Here's the kicker with this. If we're going to do this, we're setting ourselves up, we're sticking our necks out. And if we're explaining a process A through Z and then we don't adhere to that process, we are doing a very bad job. We are doing ourselves a disservice. We need to adhere to what we're saying. You cannot false promise someone anything, good, bad, or indifferent. If you say you're going to do something, you better darn do it. This is what we're focusing on, getting better internally with how we represent ourselves, how we communicate with our customers, what our processes are, quicker, more streamlined, more efficient, more proficient, and easier. But every one of those that I just labeled off involve humans. If you're going to say you're going to do something, please, for the love of all that's holy, do it. Service and parts. So, like I said, we're just about half of what we've been. But you know what we've seen? Pick up and drop off. We offered that from day one. We hadn't prior to COVID. We offered it from day one. Social, email blasts, everybody that called in for an appointment, we offered. You know how many we did in 6 weeks? One. One. Ed Roberts says this, said it last night in Fix Op Mastermind. He said that although it's a great service to offer, which we will continue to do, especially during these times, who wants people they don't even know come into their house? We're talking about all these safety measures and gloves and masks and sanitization solutions and cleaning, social distancing, stay away from everybody as far as you can for as long as you can. But then we're thinking that people are going to want us to show up in their house and come on into the living room, grab a soda, and sign them up on a repair order. I mean, what? No, no. So although we offered it, and we are still offering it, for us here at least, and a lot of this stuff can change demographically. So that's why I'm saying that just because I feel this way doesn't mean that it's right. It's just my opinion and what I've seen and what we're going to do here with us in upstate New York. So we're going to offer it. We're going to continue, but nobody wanted it. One person, and we were more than happy to go drop a loaner off to them. It didn't even move. It stayed in their parking lot all day. I'm sorry, their driveway all day. And when we were done with the car, we dropped it back off. So is that going to be the new norm? Again, I don't believe so. I do not believe so. What's going to be the new norm for us? Well, continuing to better our processes and training our employees to all perform at maximum levels. Maximum height performance from everybody. Because what's happened, we had to lay off some people in service as well, and it was terrible. Our TXM with Toyota, our quick lube, so to speak, our quick lane employees, and 3 of our 4 advisors are no longer here with us for the moment. Since then, our hours per RO now have gone up 0.5. 0.5 hours per RO since this has all happened. Where does that come from? In my mind, a couple of things. A, I have 2 of the higher level employees handling every single interaction, one of which is the service manager. Not usually is he involved with every repair order that comes through our shop, but now he is. Secondly, our higher level flat rate technicians from master down to about a C level, they're doing every single multi-point inspection. There are no hourly people here. Therefore, there are no hourly paid technicians doing any kind of multi-point inspections. Historically, obviously, when you get to a higher level as a technician in terms of experience and training and knowledge, you're going to be better suited to perform a multi-point inspection. So currently, we have our highest level technicians doing every single one of them. Our effective labor rate has also gone up, with the exception of Toyota's running a tire sale right now, and we kind of get beat up with some mountain balances, and obviously our parts gross profit percentage is not where it usually is. Buy 3, get 1 for $1. Go figure. But what I'm getting at is we need to make sure, and this is what we're going to work on, we need to make sure that everyone in the dealership, and in this case, specifically our technicians and our advisors, are performing at least as high as the next person, if not higher. We shouldn't see a swing in performance. There should be no low man on the totem pole in my mind. Will there be? Naturally? Absolutely. But it shouldn't stick out like this. We need to make sure that everyone is on par with the knowledge and the phone skills and the selling skills and the experience and the idea of what it takes to sell an extra line item, what it takes to sell a particular job as an advisor. That training needs to be done. And shame on me for not seeing this earlier. But you know what? We're going to take something out of this and we're going to get better because of it in the service department as well. So I think overall, frictionless is the word. But frictionless is not computerization. We can become frictionless still by having human interaction. We need to have a fluid, extremely fluid communication process between ourselves and the customers in every department. Are they going to want to spend less time here? Yes. Are they going to want to never come back here ever again? No. We can do what these tools can do if we properly set ourselves up to do them. It's on us. It's not on the computer. Do we all have extremely expensive software to make our days easier? Yes, we absolutely do. But what sets us up differently from one store to the next? Why is one store in my town better than the other store in my town when we all have the same damn software? What separates us? Human process. The software does the exact same thing for our store that it does the store down the road, our competition. It does the same thing. We pay for the exact same software. Why is one better than the other? Why does one outperform the other one? Well, it's because what they do with the software. We have the same customers too. Well, what do we do with the customers? How do we handle them? How do we treat them? How do we respond to them? That makes the difference, not this computer mumbo jumbo. It's very necessary, and I love myself a good piece of software, so I digress there for a moment. And I'm a numbers guy. I track things. I look at numbers all day long. But the point is, we use them to help us. We don't use them to take our freaking jobs. And is that what we're doing? We're thinking that the computers are going to take over everything? Maybe at some point, but I don't believe it's anytime soon. Use it to help. Offer it as an available option. Do not steer your customers to not speak with your employees. Again, sorry for the rant. That's what we're doing here. That's my take. Humans before anything. Use your technology to leverage your ability to make things happen. Do not replace the idea that people still want to talk to people with using an online retail tool. That's my take for today. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sweating now. I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you, Emily Osborne, for putting this thing together. As always, you can find us all the podcast platforms. We're Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher. We're out there all over the place. Like, listen, follow. We appreciate you. We love you. I hope everybody stays safe. And until next time, good vibes.